Hello again, I'm Coyote Jack, and well, this one is not so pleasing to hear, but well, let's go through it. This is from reclaimthenate.org. America presses South Korean on false information law. The offense goes undefined, so the cheapest way to comply is to delete every post a court might someday dislike. Holy shit. So look at this. South Korea now lets its courts punish quote-unquote false or manipulated information, but doesn't say what those words mean. Yeah, even we know what is false and manipulate based on looking at pattern recognition between information, analyzing at least, starting thinking for at least for 2-3 seconds, or looking more deeply into details and disprove it. But when it's made by law, with no stipulation of what is false or manipulated, information is just a tool to, well, as always, to push censorship of whatever political power is in charge to their own heart's content. So this one, but doesn't say what those words means. The amended Information and Communications Network Act took effect last month, and it makes no attempt to even define the offense or explain how the state will enforce it. Yeah, they are not so different at this point from their North Korean brother, their red brother that is just always upset and hungry. Since the offense is left undefined, a publisher can't tell in advance which online post a court may approve and which it will punish. In situations like this, the safe move for the platforms is to err on the side of caution and delete on suspicion. No prosecution is even needed for the law to have a major impact on free speech. The People Powers Party chief Lord spokesperson Choi So-jin said as much. To avoid a large damage and fines, platforms will have no choice to permanently delete posts even before illegality is clearly determined, she said. Fucking woman saying delete this shit because I dislike it or else. Oh man. No. Holy Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's what we have been warning for the longest time. And since they are too happy with this shit, man, Jesus Christ. They feel too happy with this it being in place. Holy Jesus. Yeah, South Korea is just getting fucking this one, man. Like it was announcing all of that commission of what is approved content for entertainment. So yeah. Last week, 4 Republicans of the House Judiciary Committee brought to Kim Jong-cheol, chairman of the Korean Media and Communications Commission, asking for more details about how this will affect platforms. Jim Jordan, who chairs the committee, signed the letter along with Scott Fitzgerald, Darrell Issa, and Michael Baumgartner. Secretary of the State Marco Rubio was copied into the letter. Man, please, Marco Rubio, don't accept any of this shit. We're turning off the copy of the letter for you here. So, a court can order damages up to 5 times the proven loss where the content was circulated for profit or with intent to cause harm. But, well, how do you define that harm? Well, look, we have seen the trueness grooming kids to, do disgusting shit within their own bodies. But, well, these guys, they only see harm. What kind of harm? What physical harm? Yeah, you see, this is why all of this ambiguous shit. They are adopting all of this, man. This communist shit. I keep eating my own words after seeing all of this. Let's continue. If the same content is distributed more than twice after a court has ruled it is false, the commission can impose a fine up to 1 billion won, or about $656,000. It has said there will be no grace period. Oh, so now every single country is going left wing and acting extra fascist. Not different from North Korea, not different from the CCP, not different from Russia. Hell, not even different from Ukraine, when obviously there is some corruption happening that They will silence anyone pointing it out, just saying. The law covers content publishers with more than 100,000 subscribers or a monthly average of 100,000 views, along with platforms averaging over a million daily users. Thresholds that low under a media rule into a speech rule. A publisher with 100,000 subscribers can be an individual person, not a corporation with a legal department. A creator facing damages of 5 times a stranger's claim loss cannot afford to win, so a post likely to come down. So translations. So imagine if there is someone like me or better subjects out there on YouTube that approach these topics, do their own criticism, and even I know doing their own ranting. Yeah, for if they have a certain amount of subscribers or followers, the government sees this as a threat, and they are demanding censorship from the U.S. to step in. Seriously, what the hell is South Korea doing, man? Now I'm getting extra worried with their gaming division. In truth, Seoul imported this model. It was built in Brussels first, the Digital Service Act. Ah, fucking of course. And each export arrives with its own local additions. When the country's Democratic Party announced the amendment in September 2025, it said the goal was to quote-unquote incorporate a strong punitive damages system and a Korean version of the Digital Service Act. The committee tells the story from the eyes of America. The letter is built around harm to American companies and American speech, and it names Facebook, X, Instagram, and YouTube as the platforms at risk. That framing is theirs, and it leaves out who stands closest to the law. You know what? Why is not Donald Trump putting extra tariffs for all of the shit show with the memory RAM? Honestly, I'm just getting worried with this shit, man. South Korea is starting to do some stupid decisions related to all of this chipset manufacturing within their government, censorship. Yeah, I know. At this point, the North Korea, yeah, eventually they're gonna say, let's unify and do a treaty so you can be a full Korea at one point. Yeah, fucking nightmarish shit. The letter asked for briefly to by TMAT on August 20 to 2026, but a U.S. Congressional Committee holds no authority over a Korean regulator, so the deadline carries no power to compel. Kim has stayed silent as far as the record shows. Korea's foreign ministry has answered, rejecting the complaint and saying the law, quote-unquote, doesn't not contain any provisions that discriminate against U.S. companies. But it does. You are saying every company operating in your country or have access, or even just like what the British government have been attempting to do to 4chan and they failed miserably. You know what? At least that should be the response from the US in this case. But yeah, South Korea, man, what the hell are you doing? That's it. Thanks for watching and please take care.